using things to connect. He mentioned Arnold, one of my superheroes when I was young. Like, I do the job was beautiful. Thank you so much for doing this.
The number one spice of all spices.
Yep.
It is so influential, it's mind-blowingly influential.
Ha! I'm gonna be a little bit biased. He's using glasses. Oh. Very well. Very well. That's it! I like to finish that off.
That is a beautiful finish.
Oh, wow.
Welcome back. I am David.
I'm Alex.
And we are here to give you inspiration and ideas and motivation to build even better webinars, presentations, meetings, and I guess in some context also just become more brilliant at communicating in life.
Yes.
We do this by
going through two different major platforms that you have created. First, we have the 110 Steps, which is a study that you did of 5,000 speakers over 7 years.
And it looks like this.
Wow, yes, it looks like this.
My brain broke.
Yep,
many times.
Yeah.
I use these 110. I literally see my entire world in real time. People are afraid of meeting me because they refer to, I'm afraid what you may see. And I'm like, but as long as you're not lying to me, it's perfectly fine.
I do this. I have the same. It's like a disease. I feel like sometimes it's gonna be like a spoiler alert, but I feel like Neo in Matrix back from 2000, where he starts to see everything in hieroglyphics, just like wow. So people have stopped talking to me, and then
we have the spice rack.
That's over there.
Which are 136 different ways that you can vary your webinar, your meeting, and your presentation.
Oh yes.
Each variation creates contrast, and each contrast creates and grabs attention, which is the currency of presentations.
Oh yes.
Attention. Today we have got a
who do we have?
New person, which our CEO has sent to us, Lucas. Dan Henry. Cool. He's a friend of mine. I met him in London just recently. I was on stage and he came up on stage after. Dan Henry went from pizza delivery guy to sales and marketing genius. One of the few people ever in the world to have sold for more than $1 million during one stage presentation. That is mad.
Are we in the wrong industry?
We are.
We are, okay.
Dan has started several companies teaching others how to package and sell information products and coaching offers, online courses, and more. In this particular video, Dan is presenting as part of the AdCon. It's the one in London. That's the one I was at. He shares his story and key advice for business owners. The name of the video is 5 Life Decisions That Made Me a Millionaire.
All right.
Okay, so imagine you knew the exact decisions you need to make to ensure you became a millionaire. Well, I believe there are 5. And these are the same decisions I made.
I believe there are 5.
5 functional
gestures.
gestures. Skip 44.
Helped me become a
Helped me become? That is a functional gesture.
Yeah, but it's also pointing.
It's pointing as well. Yes.
It's pointing, yep.
And an effect.
Yes, yep.
He points to his heart. He's also wearing glasses. And
I'm gonna be a little bit biased. He's using glasses.
It has shown in studies that people who wear glasses are seen to be more trustworthy. Same thing goes for people with beards.
Time out.
Well, he has got a slight beard, but he... what happened?
Glasses. I got glasses.
And he's showing off a multi-million home behind him. That's a backdrop. That's called priming.
Yep. He's priming us.
In presentation skills.
All right. Keep on going.
Yes.
Please enjoy.
If you could think back to the 3 worst financial decisions that you have ever made and you can erase them.
Well, that is sexy. I'm talking about his body. Well, what are you thinking?
I was thinking of how he just went.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's the function. But the pace, the lowered pace change, the distinctiveness of his words.
Financial decisions that you have ever made and you can erase them.
He has a good amplifying posture as well, skill 33. So he's very.
But did you see what I saw? He used one of my favorites, which is vertical positional change. Look what he did with his knees. Bent knees.
There we go.
Number 70 combined with number 67. Check out the bent knees.
If you could think back to the 3 worst financial decisions that you have ever made and you can erase them.
Yeah.
So whenever you do that, when I did the study, I saw that when people did this, they were just more passionate. Like it was true, proper passion. Like you go bend knees, you go, look at this, it's incredible. Or you stand up, you go like, look at this, it's incredible. It's just, there's just different nuance in it. Oh, very good, very nice.
How rich would you be right now?
Pausation.
Yeah.
Pausation. That is almost like an effect pause that he puts up. Yep.
How rich would you be right now?
And the beautiful smile that he puts on just after that. And he now raises his hand. I assume he's gonna ask people to do that.
Yeah.
Your hand if you still have your father.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. Good one.
Awesome.
He also gets personal with the question that he's asking. Yeah.
Did he say if you still have your father?
Yes.
Ooh, that's
So that is again, that goes to the spice. It's a question. It's going to be also personal. So it's like the next level to really connect with him, because this will probably put the audience like, okay, where is he going with that question? What does this have to do with
marketing and sales?
Exactly.
And
Yep.
That you used to do with your dad that you always remember. And for me, it was Blockbuster night. Every single Friday, we would go to
Story.
There we go.
Which is
57.
Spice 57.
Yeah.
Which out of all the 136 spices is the number one spice of all spices.
Yep.
It is so influential. It's mind-blowingly influential. Check out my TED Talk, The Magical Science of Storytelling, if you want to find out how influential it is.
Blockbuster. And we'd pick out 3 or 4 movies that we would watch for the weekend. And we love the Arnold
Again, bend knees.
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger movies. We'd run around.
It's got that constant, beautiful smile. It's inviting.
Yeah.
It's personal. It's genuine. And it, like, whenever you see a person smile, you know that they're not a threat. Because if they don't smile, we always have to ask ourselves, is this, we actually do that. We subconsciously ask ourselves, people that don't show positivity, we ask ourselves, could they somehow be a threat?
He connects with me because, I don't know if you heard that, but he mentioned Arnold. One of my superheroes when I was young, like, get to the job, he's using things to connect. Beautiful. Thank you so much for doing this.
Around the house and we'd be like, get to the job.
That's it! Call that out. That was like literally, I have not seen this before, and I just went like, get to the chopper, and he does the same thing. I love this. So in the 110 steps, you have language change. There we go, 31. So what you do that? Did you hear how you just changed like get to the chopper? It's like
yeah, he loves that. He's so good at that.
I love that. So
whenever I try to do German, I go Finnish. Whenever I try to go Finnish, I go like Texan, whatever.
Oh, oui, monsieur.
But you know what? I saw a different thing that is my favorite.
Oh, really?
It was total intensity transition, number 105.
There we go.
Total intensity transition means that you suddenly, boom, go from wherever you are and you increase the intensity of your voice, of your gestures, of your body language, of your functional movements, maybe even of your language and your facial expression. It's almost like an explosion that comes from absolutely nowhere and it grabs attention like nothing else. I want to look at it again in slow we can't go slow motion because it's total intensity. We have to look in real motion.
There we go. Let's watch it again, shall we?
We would watch for the weekend. And we love the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. We'd run around the house and we'd be like, get to the chopper! And we just had a great time. It was
He's good.
Yeah.
A pillar of my childhood. And I remember I always wanted to have a son one day, and I always wanted to have Blockbuster night with my son.
That pace change down. Ooh,
and also
very controlled.
Did you catch the anaphora? I always wanted. I always want. Yeah. So that. Yep.
He's hitting the fig leaf position now.
That was a really good pause there. So fig leaf, it's a little bit protective. It kind of limits your opportunity to use gesturing, and it will. Yeah.
It depends on context. Let's see what he says. If he uses the fig leaf position, which is the hands like this, it depends on what he says. So let's just listen to that.
Wanted to have Blockbuster night with my son. God gave me a son, but sadly,
didn't really need to do that. No. He did have a relaxed posture here. One, two, boom.
Neutral. There we go.
That is a neutral posture, which is skill 34. It means that you are open, you are transparent, and you're not gesturing at the moment. Then he goes from that to
have Blockbuster night.
A functional gesture. he puts his hand on his stomach, which is emotional amplification. Then
my son.
he puts his hands
God
together,
gave me a son, but sadly,
which wouldn't be
I never got
optimal.
to have that Blockbuster night. When I was a kid, Blockbuster
Again, he goes
was
neutral.
the king of rentals. They were
Brilliant. Brilliant use of body language.
Yep.
It's just that little add-on. As we said before, when something is too perfect, we question it, so mistakes are to be invited.
Did you hear what he said here now? There is a transition again because he said that unfortunately I never had the opportunity to have that with. Yeah, so
Content-wise, yeah.
Yeah, content. So now again, contrast, breakage. I am really intensively intrigued by what he's going to say next now, how to connect the dots, and hopefully he will.
$3 billion company. And in 2000, a man named Reed Hastings approached Blockbuster, and he had a little DVD by mail service, and he had a subscription model.
He's now using a parallel story to his first story. This one is called Nested Loops. Where on earth is that? 100.
Yep.
Spice Rack 100. It means that you start a story and you deviate and you start telling a side story, which then will perhaps loop into the main story again. One of my friends, Claes Hallberg, he's a Swedish comedian. It's insane. I think Eddie said, comedians are pretty good at this. Most comedians. They've got this main story, and then they got this story, which goes here, but it doesn't end. And then another story begins and it doesn't end, and then another one and another one. And when they've been doing their talk for like 2 hours, you have this main story which has come here. You still got 7 stories which are not concluded. You have no idea how they ended. And then the last 15 minutes, they go boom, 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 boom. And you're like,
It's a lot of
that
boom.
is, by the way, a sound effect.
And I think I know where this the question mark.
59.
The question that I had in my head. I believe I'm searching and I'm finding the path where this nested loop is going to end up with his son. So that is because it's talking Blockbuster still, and now the DVD thingy.
And Bent.
Benny's again.
Everybody loves the Bent.
He would send the DVDs in the mail, and he tried to sell his company to Blockbuster for $50 million. And Blockbuster laughed him out of the room. They thought what he was doing was stupid. You know why? Because Blockbuster.
I love that one. The tempo variation. Na 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 na.
Yeah.
It was
Melody change.
melody. Sorry, but not the melody change. That's
27.
27.
He's actually one of those. No, I keep saying favorite, but I have 10 favorites. Melody is one of my favorites. We just did, again, we forgot to say, but this is sponsored by Presenter Mastery. If you want to become a world-class speaker or even just absolutely awesome in your company, want to deliver phenomenal webinars, check the link in the description below.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say is one of our last sessions on Presenter Mastery, I did my 5 favorites and you did your 5 favorites, and Melody was one of those favorites of mine. Melody means that when you speak, you change your melody as you go by. So let's say a person who doesn't change the melody speaks constantly in one kind of melody all the time. It doesn't vary anything anywhere. Volume can vary, pace can vary, but volume or melody does not change. Whilst the melody change would sound like this. We could do this together, and we could have approached it in this various demand, like you just change the melody. It's almost like you're singing. A beautiful exercise for this, for all of you listening, is to listen to music, preferably rap, and then do your presentation in a rap. That is the best way to practice melody.
You see, they didn't make money from renting.
You see, they didn't make money.
That would be a playful emphasis on that one.
That would be a playful emphasis. Number 13.
Yes.
And you use an emphasis which is correct, but you also play with it at the same time. It's also a register increase, isn't it? So a register, deep register, high register. Registers like he just did is usually used in comedy. And I smiled when he did that, so it works.
Oh, good.
They made money from, can anyone guess it? Late fees. That's how they made money. So they thought his idea was stupid. Reed made a decision. He made a decision to go.
He's brilliant.
Yep.
Love listening to him. Number 69. is something that he could improve on. Wandering a bit on stage, stand still when you say something that is of importance or you have no reason to move. There should always be a reason to move. We demonstrated this in Alex Hermos's video, where if you just move in one direction or another without purpose, it just adds nothing. It removes clarity when you do that. And even if he's doing it slower, it still impacts us. So stand still or move to the right to speak to the audience there, move left to speak to the audience there, move back to point to your PowerPoint, move right to say that it begins here and it ends here. Or
you can anchor things as well. So you only talk about things over there, and then you talk another thing over there, but you always refer back to those spaces when you talk about the specific things that you've anchored.
Yeah.
It's a science behind where to walk.
Functional movements, horizontal movements.
Yes.
Now, Blockbuster, they made the decision to stick with late fees. Today, Blockbuster, once a $3 billion company, is now worth nothing.
I like to finish that off.
That is a beautiful finish.
Oh, wow.
All right, let's just point out all skills he uses here. Number one, he leans slightly forward.
Yep.
That's a horizontal positional change. That's one.
The slowing down in pace.
Yeah, slow down in pace, down in volume. That's another skill.
He is being neutral, so skill 34.
Yeah, and he's got amplification of eye contact. Suddenly, he stops and amplifies eye contact. That's number 5. And?
Functional gesturing.
Yes, and what does that look like?
That is when he goes...
And that beautiful again? What? Pause.
There we go.
Okay, let's have a look at those 7.
$3 billion company is now worth nothing.
Oh! You can see. Do you see how he shapes his mouth again? Like,
yeah.
And you're like, what are you gonna say? And then the end comes in nothing. Yeah.
I could point out 6 more skills used in that. That means that he used 12 skills in 5 seconds.
Yeah,
we mentioned this earlier. It's almost like, again, you're going up against Muhammad Ali. Combinations that take down the opponent. In this case, it's a combination of 12.
Yep.
Applause to you, Dan Henry.
Very well. Very well. Très bien.
If you picked something up from this video that we did, which you are going to use in your meetings and your presentations, please go down in the comments and go like, ooh, I'm going to try that 12-step combination that Dan Henry did. We would love to read those comments.
Yeah, no, always.
And if you've got people you want us to analyze, please put those in the comments as well.
Yeah.
Saying that, I've enjoyed this.
I liked it. How much do you? What do you think? Like score?
There are so many. There's so
share
many.
that, or let's keep that a secret. How much points you get?
No, but I'm guesstimating 76, 77.
I'm
maybe, yeah.
I'm bumping it up to around the 79 mark.
Yeah.
That's
which is
very.
Let's put it like this: it's a world-class standard.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Well done.
Mic drop on that.
Grabbing lunch now, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Lunch.
See you next time.